Happy New Year. How are we all doing? Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty there. I had to restart the computer, and I wanted to share it to everyone. So I can see the chats here. Hello, Priscilla. Hello, Jarvis. Hello, Nancy. Hello, Lisa. And that's all who commented. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and all that stuff. Glad to see us. So, for you guys listening on Spreaker, here's the spiel. Good evening. You're watching Uncharted Case Files, episode number 15, live from Ontario, Canada, with yours truly, Ryan Stacey. I am the Assistant Chief Investigator for MUFON Canada, the Provincial Director and Chief Investigator for the Province of Ontario, and I am the Field Investigator Trainer for Canada. I also investigate everything else paranormal. I believe they're all connected, but more specifically that there is a solid connection between shadow figures and extraterrestrial abductions. Today is Thursday, January 2019. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and to date, I have personally completed 573 MUFON Canada investigations, which includes 41 in the last 14 days, and I currently have 2 cases in progress. I'm going to make a special note today and every single week. I am not the only MUFON Canada investigator, so please make sure that you thank every single MUFON investigator that you encounter, as we are a team and we are all in this together. I happen to do quite a lot, but I am not the only one, so please give credit where it's due. Okay, so tonight I will be talking about 3 new reported cases, the Tessa movement, which is something I've been spamming for quite a while, and the Canadian Current Event Survey 2018. If you're watching this live, please share so others can see. Most importantly, don't forget to like and follow my page. If you're listening to this live on Spreaker, come to the Facebook page so you can see all the visuals. If not, okay, so let's get started. All right. So, I'm going to dive right into it here. What do we got here? So, a recap from last week. Inception. Just a quick recap here. Get this moving. Come on. Sorry. All right, just need to remind myself. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about, on episode 14, we talked about 3 new cases, NORAD, Project Blue Book, abductions, and sleep paralysis. So that was a pretty, really good show, and I enjoyed that. So an update on the NORAD, I will talk about that later on in this show. If you guys are the first time listening into this is where you want to go on the Facebook page there to see all the previous episodes. Also this week, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to talk about doing a vlog, another one for you guys. Why is it lagging? See, these are the issues that I was having earlier. Dan Jones, everybody. Welcome, Dan Jones. He is a field investigator for Ontario. Thank you, Dan, for joining us. Sorry, I'm having some serious lag tonight, and I don't know why. All right. Okay, we're just going to skip that. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks. I'm a little rusty, I apologize, but I got a lot of good stuff that we're going to talk about. So first thing on the docket is we made a new chapter meeting. Get this to open up here. All right, so this little poster I busted out there this afternoon. Michael Elzinga, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So a few changes from our last chapter meeting. This is no longer a MUFON Canada only chapter meeting. I've changed the name to High Strangeness UFO Paranormal Discussion Group meeting, so it includes everything, which includes MUFON Canada as well. So, and another thing here is you're going to notice at the bottom here, this Experience Your Support Association. That is something new, which I'm going to talk about later on here as well. So, So this is the stuff. This is where we're going to be. Okay, I made this today. Captain Ken's, which is here in Penetang Machine, 70 Main Street, and it's going to be January 20th from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. This is my hometown. It's just right down the road. We got a quiet place in the back, and hopefully we'll be able to discuss whatever you want and meet some new people, share some experiences, and just have a chat. If we have good attendance, then this could be the regular spot in this area. For the new year, I do hope that I have the opportunity to go to different areas. I'm always available. If anybody wants me to come and speak to your group, just reach out to me on my page. Dan Jones was wondering about the meeting. What were you wondering about, especially Dan? So so that's it. So for you guys listening on Spreaker, if you guys go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/feedtheworld, and just click on the event and just RSVP if you guys are interested in coming. We do have limited space, but I'm allowed to fill. It just all depends on who's counting. So this will be the first in this location. So if you could let me know that you are coming, that would be great. So that is new. And outside of that, the other stuff's going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to save the test of movement for the end since I got everybody here. And I'm going to dive right into the case as well, so keep the attention going, okay? So, only 3 cases I have in the last 2 weeks that have any pictures or video evidence. We got 97337. I'm going to bring that up on the case management system here on my other computer. If you guys don't know what MUFON is, go to MUFONCanada.com. Check it out. I get some information there about the team and what we do. We're a UFO reporting, there's a UFO investigation group, the largest to date. So we've been around a while. So currently we're at, so that number 97337 is actually the number of cases that have been reported to this date. So it's quite a large database of information, and we have quite a large team investigating sightings all over the world every single day. So this is 97337. This one is currently in progress. It took place, the event was on December 27th, 2018. It was in Cowansville in Quebec. So Team Quebec is currently investigating this one right now. So I'm going to show this video to you. And if you guys are watching this for the first time, every 7 days I try to show you the reported information that's been given to us, so you are aware that we are investigating and you are aware of what we're receiving and that we're constantly investigating this stuff. We are a group of volunteers. As I said, I'm not the only investigator. We're in this together. So this was. What the fuck? There is some language. Videos and showing a lot of it. This is anything like this in my fucking life. This is insane. So just saw them over on Monday. Disappeared. One stop just gone. Now 2 of them. What the fuck? What the fuck? You must have seen that, right? You must have seen that. So this is currently being investigated by J.D. Charu and Eric Tessier from Quebec. I'm interested in knowing what happens with this one. This looks like a really good one. Video. Nancy suggests parachutes. It could be. but it's hard to tell. It looks like they're stationary right now. For you guys listening on Spreaker, you're going to want to check the video out here. So what I find interesting about that one is that if it is a satellite of some sort, normally there's only one light, but there seems to be two. So I'm actually really intrigued about this one. So let me know what you guys think that might be in the comments, please, below. For you guys listening on Spreaker, you're going to have to come over to the Facebook page to check out that video. If it's classified as an unknown, it will be in the 2018 survey. Next, we got 97351. So I'll just open that up on the CMS here. This one was reported in Ontario and is currently in progress. It is described as a red-orange blinking light with a red orb shooting out of it, then a red-white flashing orb, other red orbs hovering around main light with an orange-whitest flash. The event was December 30th, 2018, and it was in Ohsweken, Ontario. So here's the video here. So I'm not quite sure what that one is yet. Still under investigation. Let me know what you think that might be in the comments. Then we have 97352, which was reported this week. This one was reported back in August. So the event was August 6, 2018. The description is: walked out of Sauble Dunes restaurant with my fiance and saw a pulsating orange donut flying quickly across the sky. And it was in Sauble Beach, Ontario. So here's the original video. So I'm going to play this one more time. Just pay attention to the way that it flickers. And if anybody knows what this is, let me know. This one has been identified, and I'll explain in a minute. So I asked the witness for more information on this one, and I asked them to draw. So this is what they drew for me. This is what they reported seeing, which is bizarre on its own. Dan Jones says it looks similar to the last video. Yes, it does. So based on the description on this, I had the assumption that this may have been a sky lantern because of the way that it flickered. And in order to collaborate that information, we have to check the weather data. The witness did provide the direction in which it was traveled and where they were standing. And the direction in which this object has traveled is exact with the reported weather data that day, showing this object traveling with the wind. And because of that piece of information, when I watched this video again, I believe this to be a sky lantern because they were by the beach and it was late at night, and usually that's when people light them off. I've seen many sky lanterns before. Now when you see this all flickering here, that would resemble the flame inside a white canvas of some sort. So I can't say for 100%, but I talked to the witness, explained what I thought it might be. He agreed with me. He believes it to be a sky lantern as well. However, again, we'll never know for sure. The way that he drew this image was very interesting. So this is what he recalls seeing before he recorded the video. So it's hard to tell. We don't have any references during the day, but that's it. That's the poop. That's what's been reported. So nothing exciting this week, but I mean we still have a lot to investigate. They don't have pictures and don't have videos. Sometimes we'll get pictures after the fact, and I'll share those in next week if I get those. So yeah, that is pretty well it for Move On Canada cases. In the High Strangeness Paranormal Database, I have nothing yet because it's not created, but it's in the progress. I do have some conversation pieces for you, chatty bunch here. So, you guys, in the comments, this is important. We're gonna have a nice little discussion here about Tessa. Not yet, though. Let me see here. Before I talk about Tessa, I want to talk about NORAD again. So NORAD, if you guys didn't watch the previous episode, Transport Canada had mistakenly or purposely mentioned that a unidentified object was seen in airspace and reported in Nunavut. This was on November 26th. I caught that on the KDOR report, which is a Civilian Aviation Daily Occurrence Report. And I have requested Freedom of Information on this report from NORAD. They have a deadline of 30 days to give me a response. We're currently on day 16, so I should have an official response from Transport Canada, whether or not they need more time or they're going to release all the information. It all depends on the file. So we are still trying to get the information on this, so I will keep you informed as soon as I get that. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out my previous episodes. Check out my Instagram. It talks about the actual report from Transport Canada that claims that a unidentified object was seen in Nunavut by a pilot. And what we're trying to do is get the information, get the actual report, the actual verbiage on how that pilot explained what they have seen for the reporter on the other end to classify it as an unidentified flying object. Going back to the comments here, Dan Jones, referring to the video earlier, says, when witnesses video a point of light, I know it's nice to zoom in, but start with no zoom and give us a reference point, possible size and distance. I agree with him 100%. One of my vlogs that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that, the difference of that too. It's like, let us zoom. We have the technology to zoom in and get a better, more crisper image. So it's best to film in regular HD as it is and let us do the work. So a great point, Dan. Thank you for bringing that up. So the Canadian Research Council on UFOs. Okay, so I mentioned this in many episodes. This is where these NORAD files have been pulled for. All right, and once we get that information and we release it to the public, we're going to add it here. Okay, to get to that, you go to moveoncanada.com/crcu-disclosure.html. There'll be a new link down here. I'll make a post that shows the new NORAD information once we get the release from the government on what that UFO was, or what they claim it wasn't going to be. Another important thing for this site is now 2019, which means that it's time to make the 2018 Canadian Current Event Survey. So what is going to happen within the next 3 months is I'm going to be compiling data just like I did for 2017, right here. And I am going to release to the public every single case that has been reported to MUFON Canada. The classification, its complete status, everything's 100%, and the disposition. And I'm also going to release the statistics. And the interesting thing about this area of statistics is that I'll be able to compare 2018 to 2017, and we're going to notice some significant trends. And I'm going to do that every single year, and hopefully narrow down on this UFO subject. Now, what's interesting too is that from those who haven't seen the survey before, at the end I focus on the 65 cases on this one that shows actual evidence, that physical evidence that proves, not physical evidence of the unknowns. So this is going to be a detailed report for everyone to take and distribute to whatever media they need to do. So nobody's really talking about this right now, but this information's here. So I'm hoping it's going to blow up a little bit more, so a lot more people are actually studying this and looking at this. This information is available for the public. This is going to be an important part about the Tesla movement when I start talking about that shortly. So yeah, that is coming. Okay, so to get that survey, you go to moveoncanada.com, you're going to click on CRCU. I do have an update about Alien Cosmic Expo. I do believe that it is going to be in September. I think September 20-ish, 21, 22, somewhere around there. It's only going to be 2 days, the Saturday and the Sunday. I believe we're only going to have 8 speakers. We're going to have a lunch with the speakers too. We're going to do things differently this year, but it's going to be more efficient. 2 days instead of 3. And I will have hopefully details soon, maybe within the next week or so. I'll let you guys know about that, all right? All right, so moving on. This is in my conversation piece this year I saw, and I just wanted to chat about this. I thought this was really cool, how detailed we're starting to see our planets in the solar system. So I do recall Pluto being the rebel planet, but I think, the true reason why they don't want us to see this is because it looks pretty close to Earth and it might be habitable. We don't know. So I saw this picture today. I thought that would be pretty cool. Comment from Dan Jones. Your compilation of stats and info are great and very helpful and informative. Thank you. Dan, you are welcome. And you know what? I will take this time to say that we need to thank the people who are brave enough to report this information. If I were to follow my allegiance to MUFON 100%, you wouldn't hear about any of this stuff. The release of the survey is not something MUFON has done before. Well, actually, the MUFON USA reports their own top 10. They don't release everything. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that if you didn't report this information, I wouldn't be able to share this information. So thank you for reporting this, and thank you to all the investigators who have helped, as long as myself, to investigate and close these cases in a timely manner. So that includes you, Dan, and all you other investigators, if you guys are ever listening to this. Nancy says, why? I don't know what the why question is for. We'll get back to that. Another thing that was reported, this came in from This is a high strangeness paranormal report. The claim is this photo was taken, and this object here on the right wasn't there. Now, I looked at this real close, and I believe this to be a hoax. And the person who sent me this information was credible. However, the story that he got from the witness who took this photo is family, so he believed it, and I don't blame him. But when he sent it to me for review, I was able to tell him, or at least show him, that when we zoom up here, that this is clearly somebody's head, and the hair is dropping down. There's an ear here. And someone's playing a hoax. Wish I had better stuff to show you guys. I'm not trying to waste your time, but I'm just letting you know this is the stuff that comes in. I'm encouraging you guys, the guys watching this and think this stuff is boring, send me some good stuff. I want to share this stuff. So if you send me some good stuff to review, I will share this stuff. I just need it, right? I'm putting myself out here to say, like, show me your stuff. I'll show you I'll show you mine if you show me yours. But no, like, seriously, some of this stuff is garbage, absolute garbage. But it's part of it, right? One day we're gonna get it. We can't stop looking. We can't stop researching. We always got to be available. We always got to be ready. And a part of that is Tessa. Okay, so you guys know by now that I have. Where is he? Where is she? Already talked about that. So to show you guys listening to speaker, what I'm doing is I'm going to my Facebook page to find that symbol that I had posted a week earlier, which you can find on my Facebook page, and I'm going to give a detailed explanation on it. Come on. Sorry, I made a few posts this week. I wish I had a faster processor on my laptop, but if you guys knew what I used before this laptop, jeez. Here she is, right here. This is Tessa. There is a contest that has been on for a week. All right, share this post, tag 3 people, and then tell me what is on here, okay? This is a power symbol. 19 obvious icons, 7 specific combinations that create hidden meanings within the power symbol, 3 hidden sacred geometric shapes, 1 iconic reference, 1 specific and deliberate anagram, 2 viewing perspectives, and a perfect square gets you 33. So here's the background behind this symbol. There's no easy way to put this. I went away, I was relaxed, and I had no work to focus on, and I had nothing but my thoughts in a very relaxed state, which was the first time in a very, 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 very long time. And I started getting a download of thoughts and ideas in my head. I guess everything was just kind of collaborating. I had a dream of this image. And for 2 days, I was struggling to not forget what it looked like. And after 2 days, I was able to come home and go on my computer and do some graphic arts and put this down. So hold on. Giovanni put a question in there. Giovanni, if you're listening to this, just give me a second. I'll come back to your question. So this is going to be hard for me to talk about because it's new, but I mean, it's something that's important. So in a nutshell, this came through a thought process, locked down deep side in my brain, and all these symbols make sense to me. And the confusing part about these symbols is I'm not quite sure what they all mean together. But I had a game with it. We played with it, and a couple of you chimed in. Actually, to be completely honest, Michael Elzinga, you are the winner by default because you are the only person who provided me answers to what you think this may be. So congratulations. You get to pick. What do I say here? For the prize. The person who correctly identifies the most will win a few merchandise items from our store and will have them shipped out free of charge. So what I want you to do, Mike, is go through my shop on my page and just tell me what you want, and I will send it to you. All right? Hope you can hear that. So Michael's explanation or thought on the test project or symbol, I'm going to read it out loud for you guys listening on Spreaker, and I will explain to you what this means and what is about to come. So Michael says, 4 element symbols with corresponding colors: earth, fire, water, and air. You are correct about that. So we have fire, water, earth, and air, but you forgot the 5th, which is right here, which is spirit. There's actually 5. And the colors are coordinating. Okay? You see the yin yang, which is right, which is underneath here. You have the yin yang. And then we have the Seal of Solomon, which is correct. That's this symbol right here. And then what did you have here? A large triangle pyramid, black. Yes, there's a large triangle here. It's interesting that you think it's a pyramid. We'll get to that, and it is black. Each corner has what I believe to be Masonic items. Yes. So this is the plumb rule, this is the level, and this is the square, which signify the first 3 degrees in Freemasonry. All right. Then you have the Templar cross, which is right here. The Celtic knot, I'm not quite sure where you see that Celtic knot, so let me know where that is, but I don't have a Celtic knot in there. Lightning bolt for supernatural. Well, this actually isn't supernatural. But it is a lightning bolt. Double spiral for life and death. That is not a double spiral. That actually symbolizes harmony. And Tessa, yes. You have Tessa here, which is the Experiencer Support Association, which you wouldn't have known unless you saw my post earlier. So good for you for paying attention. And that's that. So, not bad. So now I'm going to explain to you what exactly it is we're looking at. I got to get my cheat sheet, so hold on a second. Okay, so Nancy says, are Knights of Columbus similar to your organization? They are similar in the sense that similar to Freemasonry, I guess is what you're saying, in the sense that they do charitable things for the community. They are Knights of Christ. They only believe in the Catholic faith, one religion, whereas Freemasonry accepts all faiths. Knights of Columbus are public and out in the open, where Freemasonry is met in secret, but that's not because we keep secrets, just because that's how we do business. So we are very similar, but for some reason, Knights of Columbus do not play very well with Masons. We do the same thing. I don't get it. But I've met some Knights of Columbus who like just do this when they see my tattoo, and it's like, oh, all right, man, sorry, have a good day. So before I go into this, Giovanni Paolo Santanato, did I say that right? Asks, what have you done? Have you done any investigating into some of the strange implants and anomalous debris in human animal tissue or unusual human illness, like Morgellons? So in my experience there, Giovanni, I am a private investigator. I have collected forensic evidence before in my career. I know how to collect it. I know how to deal with it and how to handle it. I have not personally encountered any specimen of any kind yet in my career, but I'd be more than willing to examine anything that you could properly send for analysis. Or if you have anything, let me know. All right. So I'm going to rifle through this stuff real quick so you guys are pretty curious about what's going on. Now, I want to remind you guys that this came to me in a dream. All right. Being creative is one thing, understanding the meaning behind it. Now, prior to this dream, I've been thinking of a way to have a collective body to do what I do as well, like the support. Part of the name, the Experiential Support Association, was something I was thinking of. I didn't have that name until the symbol was created. The idea of the Experiential Support Association is to create a network of individuals like myself and MUFON, who represents MUFON, to help and support the experiencers, either financially to get them hypnosis or regression therapy or treatment for post-traumatic stress. But they got, almost like a support care system for those who have been affected, because in the real world, in the real science world, a doctor's not going to give you any written diagnosis unless we can prove some substantial proof that you've been abducted by aliens or attacked by a shadow figure. So the idea of this association is about creating that support group. And now that is being now this is coming into fruition. So I had those thoughts prior to this symbol. Now, I will explain to you at the top, these Masonic symbols are right, but these symbols here, these 7 black chairs represent the 7 liberal arts of sciences, which are grammar, right, which also means knowledge, which is, we also have logic and understanding. We have rhetorical and wisdom. We have this one would be music and harmony. Pardon me. This one here, skip that one, is mathematics and numbers. This one is geometry and dimensionals. This one here represents astronomy and cosmology. Now, when I built this symbol, I made the dot in the center. I did the circle, and then the circle, and then the triangle, and then I started putting these items around. Then I put these symbols on in random order. First, I went all the way across, then went all the way across, and I went back around. What I was trying to do was recreate what I was seeing in my head from this dream. So I was just trying to lay that down on a piece of paper. What this means is up for interpretation. So the reason why I know that these 7 are 7 liberal arts is because these symbols are from me, are in some esoteric writing, and I was able to figure that out. Now these symbols here are alchemaic symbols. As Michael had identified, we got fire, water, air, earth, and spirit. These colors, red, blue, yellow, white, and green, represent some Wicca colors as well as these symbols. And the actual shape of these symbols represents the order of the Eastern Star. So if you guys don't remember what the Eastern Star is, I'll show you an image. Okay, that's not really the best. Anyways, I'll go back here. So anyways, you got red, blue, green, yellow, and white. Okay, so you see that there. So that is in the symbol as well. Okay, so now we have the Eastern Star, we have Masonry, and these are there. So some of this stuff is still going to be confusing. Then we have the Yin Yang, we have the Knights Templar, and then we have the Seal of Solomon, as is right. But this symbol in the middle is cuneiform for Anu, which is the Sumerian god of gods. All these symbols I recognize because I've seen them before. I've never made them up. It's just the sequence and the pattern is what has got me absolutely crazy. So I didn't design this out of random. I designed this to recreate what I saw in my dream. And it's very interesting to see all these collaborations of specific items on one piece or one symbol, because it kind of represents everything that I want to do for the world, in a sense, like my mission, my personal mission. So it would make sense that my personal thoughts and everything that I've invested my knowledge into to come out into this power symbol. It's not meant to be crazy. It's not meant to be silly. But I mean, it's just a personal symbol. Now, the interesting thing about that is the perspective here. There's more than what we just see here. These are actually chairs. If you look at this as if you're looking down, these are all chairs. And what we're doing is we're looking down at a table. Okay, so if you guys recall the 12 seats of the Knights of the Round Table, this could be a carpet, right? So now what we're looking at is a table. And now once we understand that we're looking at a table, the characteristics of these chairs become more important. Okay, so grammar, knowledge, logic and understanding, right? Music and harmony. All these chairs are important now. These all represent female deities or female important females in the Eastern Star. Priscilla might shoot me for that. I don't know if I can explain that properly, but these represent significant women within the Eastern Star. And the characteristics of those women match these colors and they match these symbols. And as I mentioned before, when I built this, I built the colors on the right, moving to the right, and then I built the symbols moving to the left, and then again to the right, all in random orders when I placed them on here. But the color of the chair, the placement of the chair, and the symbol of the chair all have collaborating information, which is a very, very interesting combination or coincidence per se. Now, when we're looking at a table and we want to understand the table, and then we put that with the Experiencer Support Association concept, what we have is 12 chairs. And then, so the concept and the idea that the TESA movement, the TESA support system, is going to be comprised of 12 chairs, 12 bodies, 12 people, including myself. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for specific people to sit within these chairs, to form this association to help and support experiencers. From there, I can say that these 7 liberal arts and sciences are important. So what we're going to do, so the symbology here is that everything is towards the center. The reason why we have a center table is because it includes everything in the center, and everyone is equal. All these chairs are important. When I study with the High Strangeness Paranormal Database, I need a strong team behind me to support investigating paranormal. Why? Because paranormal isn't easy to investigate like it is for ufology, but it's still important. So this, to me, mentally is telling me that this is the type of team that I need to have, and this is how I'm going to structure it. If this makes sense, you guys follow me here. So I am going to get some of this stuff may not make any sense. It might confuse you. You might think I'm wasting your time. I do apologize for that, but I'm just trying to explain to you what's coming, okay? So now within these 7 spots, these 7 liberal arts, these are important chairs where they are going to be supported by credible backgrounds, in the sense that, knowledge and understanding, investigative background. That could be my chair. I don't know. Some of these, I don't know yet. Music and harmony. I need to have somebody who understands music, who understands theory and frequencies to analyze music, to analyze EVPs, to analyze, this is going to be like the supreme of the supreme, analyzing all UFO cases that get reported to us. We're not going to take on the entire world and investigate all the mysteries. We're just going to focus on what gets submitted to us, and we're going to do it efficiently. And then we also have mathematics. So I would need to find an engineer to sit in this chair who understands mathematics and who still believes in paranormal and UFO stuff. Okay, and then geometry, you could be an engineer. So all these 7 liberal arts are associated with sciences and degrees. So that is part of the team. The other 5, which is here, the esoteric ones, would represent more of the harder to prove sciences, the pseudosciences, like Reiki, hypnosis, remote viewing, like all these pseudosciences that aren't widely accepted within the universe or within the realm of investigating this stuff. I'm going to be looking for specific people who are credible enough to support those specific positions. So that way, the 7 structural ones can help reinforce that science to prove it to be true. Okay, so we need to work together. So, and it's kind of ironic because some of these, Reiki and hypnosis, and there's also tarot. There's a bunch. They're more of a I don't want to say feminine. I'm not trying to sound sexist, but I mean they're more emotional, and women are known to be more emotional than men. It's not always the case, but what I'm seeing here is that balance of both sexes as well, female and male, good and bad, science and non-science or pseudoscience. There's an equal balance of absolutely everything in this power symbol. Okay, so some of this stuff doesn't make sense. It seems to be creative. That's, in a nutshell, what I'm putting together is a experiencer support system that is going to comprise of the best of all of these fields. Who are these people? I don't know yet. This was just a dream. This could be a crazy idea that just came to me and I put it together and now I'm just making sense of it. Nancy says women are smarter. Well, I'm not going to argue that. In Sumerian times, the women goddesses were the most powerful. And if you actually want to talk, and they were also African Americans. So if you want to look back in history, we have slaves, and we have the feminists, and equal rights and all that crap. Like crap in the sense of the bad stuff that had happened. It makes sense because women and the darker skinned races were more powerful back in the day. So it's more of a fear thing. So you're not absolutely. You're not wrong in saying that. I agree with you 100%. We're all equal here. But this is the point: is we need a balance. This is a balancing thing. Okay, so now there's one more step that goes beyond that. If I haven't already freaking lost you guys already. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So in doing that, part of this, Tessa. Okay, so Tessa is coming. So TessaCan.org is going to be the housing site of once this gets launched. Okay. The Experiencer Support Association right now is just me. So the plan is to extend what I'm doing to 12 people. We're going to collectively work together and put our minds together to focus and put out a report, just like the Canadian Current Event Survey, on just UFOs. But what I want to do is I want to put a report out there on everything paranormal, on cryptozoology, on ghosts, on poltergeists, on demon possession. I want to put out a report survey on all of that, but I need help. So that's what this Tessa movement is part of. That's what Tessa is coming. Tessa is the word. So the Experiencer Support Association. Okay, so in doing that, we have the High Strangeness Paranormal Database, which is coming. Okay, much like MUFON's reporting database. However, this is going to be geared specifically towards paranormal and other high strangeness. You can report UFOs and aliens to this database if you choose to, but more than likely it's going to have a redirect to MUFON because they are the best of the best for UFOs. And for anything related to UFOs. They are a UFO organization, investigating organization, and I still work for them. This is not to compete. This is not to bring them down. This is an assist to get more data because, and I will say on record, MUFON currently is not able to handle all the paranormal stuff properly. And because they're not able to handle that, a lot of that information gets ignored or not treated properly. So what I'm trying to do is create that assist to balance, because I believe that it is all important. It is all equal, and it's all important for disclosure. It's all important to understanding. It's all important to figure all this stuff out. So what I got so far is just the forum here. This is just the standard, stuff, and I'll explain this once it's out. But it's in development. So before I had a guy who was willing to help me. He has disappeared. So I'm completely on my own and doing this again. So I'm teaching myself code, teaching myself how to do all this stuff so I can get this going. If anybody wants to help out, reach out. But I am working on this every single day to make this system perfect. I got 12 openings. If anyone, wants to sit at the table, let me know. So I'm going to just go to the comments here. We got Uncle Brad, you're watching. Thanks, Brad. Love you. Nancy says, let me know when you get this together. Oh, yeah, trust me, you'll know. This is my own project that I am trying to do to make everything better for everyone. Collect better data to support the experiencers better in a more efficient way, to earn that trust so I get more data to analyze and to figure this out together. I need a lot of people. And it's one thing to have people report. It's another thing to make them understand or have them feel like it matters and that we're doing something with it. And I've shown what I can with MUFON. The issue with MUFON is I am restricted to what I can and what I can't do, and I have values and morals that do not match their mission. Their mission is good for what they're doing, but it's not the only thing. MUFON is not the only investigating paranormal, organization. We know this. It happens to be the one that I'm currently supporting because there's a lot of weight behind it, and I still am going to continue to work for MUFON. So just in case anyone's watching this thinking blah blah blah, like it's a partnership or an association. It's supposed to assist. It's supposed to improve. It's supposed to help. All right. If you get the wrong impression from that, then that's a human problem, and you got to get over that now. Okay. Moving on. Giovanni Paulo says, this is really interesting material, Ryan, and I think it's great we have investigators such as yourself in Canada challenging and exposing these obscure issues. Thank you. You're quite welcome. As I said, I'm not the only investigator doing this. Maybe I'm currently the only investigator who's piping up and running his mouth about all this stuff. If please reach out to me, man. I want to build a team of like minds. Like I'm trying to set the example. To encourage others, as Greg has constantly told me, I need to thread the needle. That is what I'm doing, is threading the needle. And once the needle is thread, I'm the needle, and you guys are the thread, and you're coming with me, right? So I just gotta get you guys all to hop on board here, and if I don't have any supporters, then this won't work either, right? So Nancy says, oh, you were talking about a super non-prejudiced group. Well, yeah, try to an equalization to support in an unbiased way to investigate on a credible level this unknown phenomenon. Are there other people that do this? I'm sure they do that, but a lot of people do this individual. There are a lot of credible people in the UFO world and disclosure movement, but I'm trying to put a band together that focuses on this, a group of 12. I don't want to have 500 investigators that are trained differently in different ways and never, I want the best of the best. I want it to be efficient. I want it to be a specific division to assist those who need it. Nancy says, oh my God, that's genius. Well, thank you, because I thought it was crazy. All right, so let's continue. So this database is in the works. I'm currently working on a lot of code that I've never written before. I don't know how to do, but for some reason I know how to do it now. I don't understand. But anyways, I'm doing it because it needs to be done. I need help. Please help. If not, it'll get done when it gets done, and I will let you know. And when it's ready, just start using it. Again, the intent is to assist, not to destroy. So I've also recently changed Oh yeah, and I will say, when I say Tesla movement, this is another thing, and part of the another one of my crazy ideas that is going to happen. Once I get enough evidence, once I get the 2018 survey ready, that I'm going to have more evidence to start a march, a non-violent, peaceful protest, and we're going to call it the Tesla movement, which I'm going to rely on experiencers like yourselves to meet with me in a controlled environment to peacefully show them that we know you know. This hand here is a symbol for disclosure. You guys haven't figured that out yet. That is what everything is leading to. So through the Tesla Association or Tesla movement, I am going to create a peaceful organization or create an invitation for those to come and show the government that we know, that we are all experiencers, that we're all together, and we want answers. And with that, I will have the data to support, to ask the right question. Remember, with the survey is not asking, do aliens exist? The survey is asking, are you aware that this object was in the sky on this date and this time? Because we have proven that this object is authentic. This object is in the sky. This picture is authentic. It has not been tampered. So what I want to know from you, Mr. Trudeau and whoever's running for government at the time, is, are you aware? If they are aware, then we get confirmation that this object was in the sky. If they are not aware, then we start questioning, well, why are we paying, what are we paying for? You aren't aware that, this is a threat to our country. You're telling me that there's an object in the sky and you aren't aware about it. So they're going to be kind of backed in. But I mean, there's going to be a push, and I can't do that alone. Otherwise, they're going to take everything I got. So another part of putting this team together, credible team together, so that way when we make this movement, we're stronger in numbers. I will do this myself. I'm starting this myself. Like I said, I'm threading the needle. I need you guys to come with me. But if you don't support it, don't follow it. It's not for everybody, right? So that's the idea. It's just an idea right now. Will this work? I don't know, but this is where I'm pushing. This is where this dream is, kind of had led me. These are thoughts that I've had, and it's all coming together. Now here, I've changed the Blacklight Paranormal and Investigative page to the Experiencer Support Association. So this is going to be the hangout spot for, like MUFON Canada, but for everything, high strangeness, absolutely everything. And as I said, if I think it's better investigated through MUFON, I'm going to refer you to MUFON, right? They have a system set up to use for MUFON. And again, it's like MasterCard commercial. For everything else, use this Experiencer Support Association, right? It's an alternative. Sorry, not an alternative. It's an assist. I keep using the wrong words, but that's where it is coming from. This is an assist, okay? And I am doing my part to help the people, because if it wasn't for you guys reporting, I wouldn't have a job to do. I wouldn't be able to comment. I wouldn't be able to make the survey. What I'm trying to do is be that voice for the people, for you guys. That's the intent. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm hoping to do. Every time you like and share this page, I get a new like every week. That's one more person who believes in this cause. That's one more push towards towards this mission, and lets me know that there's one more person that needs this. So this is extremely important. All right, so that is pretty well it in a nutshell, except there is another level. So Michael, if you're still watching this, and everybody else, there is another level to this symbol. When you look at this symbol, and I'm going to leave you guys hanging with this, you get rid of the negative space, okay? What comes to mind is origami. And again, this idea came in my sleep I was dreaming about it. These are all my thoughts. So this all makes sense to me because I just explained to you these are things that I have been thinking about for a while. I just didn't know how to put it on paper. I didn't know how to start it, and I didn't know what I needed. Now I have a template. Now I have a blueprint of what I know that I need to make this successful. And that's what I want. I want success. In the sense that I want this to work, I want to cure, I want to continue to heal the world. And I know and I realize that I can't do that alone, but I also realize that there's bad help out there too. So I need to be careful, and I need to create the best team possible by using a system that is unbiased. And that's why I like how these symbols associate with characteristics. And as I meet people, I start to realize that certain people will fit within these characteristics, but will they accept this chair? Yeah, they might not, right? This might not be for them. So it's going to take some time to fill these chairs properly. But once I fill these chairs, that is going to be your team. That is going to be your association, and we're going to have like minds doing that. If you think, once I establish what these chairs are, we'll go from there. But now this is two-dimensional. Okay, well, first dimension was looking at it like this. And then now two-dimensional, we're looking at it here. I'm trying to visualize this table. Now beyond that, we got geometric shapes. You got to remember the sacred geometry. Okay, sacred geometry is important to everything that we're doing. And again, I cannot stress that this information had come to me in my sleep. Okay, I do not know. I am currently believing that this was just locked in my brain, and I am just a mad scientist. Okay, perhaps this came from somewhere else. There's no way to know that, right? And I'm not going to believe that. That's up for you guys to figure this out. You guys know what I'm doing. You know where I'm coming from. You know what I'm trying to do. This is the information. This is the mission. So, with geometric shapes, we do know that this base, there are 3 layers here, or 2 layers here. This triangle was the first one, and within that, I played with it, and I made a triangle. And what was interesting with this origami shape is, I've seen this before, which is the Triforce, which is another symbol of power, which I thought was ironic because this is the exact shape 4 times, which when you fold together creates a pyramid. And that's why I thought it was very interesting when Michael had said that it's a black pyramid, right? So you got to remember that the only thing that was intentional for this design was the round table with chairs. The symbols, the colors, the association was put on what I thought was random, but it flowed. It came out of me like I was painting a picture. I was recreating what I could see. The idea that I was able to create a pyramid out of the bottom base is coincidental. But if we understand geometric shapes and the physics behind that, any 2-dimensional image can be rendered to make 3D if you do it properly. That is expected. The type of shape depends on what's going on here. So now above that and beyond that, what we have here, this is in the corner right here behind me, which is the completed shape. I will show you the interesting thing about this test of movement here. If you guys are watching, so not only is it a 2-dimensional shape, this is also a 3-dimensional object, which I have here behind me, which you see in this picture. When you fold that table, per se, into each other, you get a perfect circle. So that is a coincidence on my design. Or subconsciously deliberate. I don't know. But the symbolism is there. Now inside here, what we have, when we look through 3 dimensions, we also have, which we see is the Templar cross, the Seal of Solomon, and Anu in the center, right? So that's the significance of this toothpick. But inside, yeah, I don't know how well you can really see. Yeah, can you see that? So each of these pieces are layered to make some sort of a spiral. I'm going to have to take this off to show you. No, I don't want to ruin it. Damn it. Essentially, just imagine these are layers, okay? Everything inside spins. So this symbol also represents a three-dimensional shape. Counterbalance, all that stuff too. Now to move on, to come back to this shape and color before I show you the last one here. So now you can see that. There's the perspective. We are looking down on a craft above a pyramid. Okay? Now someone says, let's get you a decent 3D printer. Well, I don't know how to see. This is another thing, disclosure. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to do this. This just came from a dream. Okay? This is a thought from my collective thoughts of what I want to do. And you guys on Spreaker are listening right now and you haven't gone to my Facebook page. You guys are missing a whole shit ton of stuff right now. All right, so you guys are with me on this, and I'm staying as credible as possible. So you have to test that. I put that in a 3D model. I do not have a 3D printer, but if I did, I would make one. But these colors are significant, and it also puts everything in perspective, right? Looking down on a pyramid, but when you have, what you actually have here is a black pyramid, like that. So, my question to you guys is, where did this information come from? I know all these symbols. I created this, from in here, from my thoughts. This could have been just an idea, a crazy idea I had one day, but all these coincidences are freaking weird. So again, everything is deliberate. Everything is on purpose. There's symbolism here. Black pyramids why is it a black pyramid? It's not Giza. It's a black pyramid, unless we're talking about the hidden pyramid in Giza, which is the buried one, which is the black one. What does it mean? Right? Different colors of lights, everything we see. So on one hand, I totally just hocus pocus you and I made this all up and it's elaborate. On the other hand, you do believe me that it was just a dream and this is all completely random and coincidental. The understanding, so the logic behind it makes sense, but the understanding and interpretation behind it is completely up for you. However you interpret it. What I'm doing with this information is I'm creating a team. I am creating a power team to help support experiencers. Was this an experience of mine? I don't think so, right? Some of you might think, like I have seen some of the comments think that I'm an alien. I'm not an alien, right? I just have lots of information that I have not been able to display. And I finally feel like I was able to creatively display for the first time the heart. This is my heart. This is where everything is coming from. This is home. This is Tessa. The Tessa movement. Right? We're all in this together, and the symbolism of the Knights of the Round Table, this round table here, is to pinpoint and show you that every single experiencer is inside, and if it wasn't for you experiencers, if it wasn't for you guys reporting, this round table wouldn't have anything to protect, wouldn't have anything to investigate, wouldn't have anything to discover. So this is home. This is the mission. This is the movement. Okay? Candian.org is where everyone's going. I don't give a shit if you guys think I'm, what you guys think about, but this is what's happening. This is where it's coming from. This is the core. These are all my thoughts played in here. Right? The intent was to bring everybody together. That's what we got, plus then some. Right? So what does this mean? I don't know, but I'm going, the only thing that this does for me is ensure that I'm on the right path and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right? So all I want to know, all right, so what's that saying? I'm not going to do what everyone thinks I'm going to do and freak out, man. All I want to know is who's coming with me. All right? Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep your eyes in the sky and heed the world. Peace. Every day we see, hear, and experience strange and unusual things.
We have asked, we have begged, we have cried for answers from our governments to reveal, acknowledge, and confirm that we're not alone. We need to change our perspective on disclosure. We need to rise and stand tall. We need to stop asking and start acting. We know that you know, and that you won't tell us. So join me next week as we continue to search, as we continue to share, as we continue to grow. We're in this together, and you're not alone. We know you know. Thanks for looking up, everybody. Keep your eyes in the sky and heed the world.